The strongest souls are often tested not by storms but by the people they attract. Sigma males, you walk a path few dare to tread. Quietly confident, fiercely independent, and deeply self-aware, you don't fit neatly into society's labels, and that's your superpower. But this uniqueness comes with a cost. You often find yourself attracting narcissists, those who thrive on control and manipulation. Why? Because your strength, resilience, and emotional depth are magnets for people who crave what they lack. This isn't a flaw or a weakness on your part. It's proof of your rare energy. Narcissists are drawn to your self-assurance, your calm in chaos, and your refusal to bow to their games. While others get entangled, you stand firm. But knowing why this happens can help you protect your peace and navigate these encounters with clarity. In this video, we'll uncover 10 brutally honest reasons why narcissists are so drawn to Sigma males like you. But this isn't just about understanding them. It's about celebrating your strength and giving you the tools to thrive without compromise. Stay tuned, because by the end of this, you'll see why your path isn't for everyone, and why that's exactly what makes you unstoppable. Hit play, and let's dive in. Number 1. Narcissists crave control, and Sigma males can't be controlled. Narcissists are fundamentally driven by a need for control. They crave the ability to manipulate others, to shape people and situations to fit their narrative, and to maintain dominance in every interaction. But when they encounter a Sigma male, they come face to face with something they can't manipulate or possess: true independence. Sigma males have an aura of self-sufficiency that is hard to ignore, and this autonomy makes them an irresistible challenge for narcissists who thrive on control. Sigma males don't follow anyone's agenda. They don't seek approval or validation, and they certainly don't need anyone to tell them what to do or how to live. This defiance of the narcissist's need to control makes the Sigma an object of fascination and frustration. Narcissists are drawn to individuals who stand out, but they also need to feel like they have the power to influence or manipulate those around them. With Sigma males, they can't. The Sigma is a moving force in their own right, and the narcissist can't bend them to their will. This lack of control over the Sigma male fuels a narcissist's obsession. The narcissist can't fully possess or dominate them, and that gap between desire and reality becomes a bitter frustration. They might try subtle manipulation, emotional games, or outright pressure, but the Sigma male remains untouched. Their independence is not something that can be swayed by flattery or threats, and this makes them the ultimate puzzle for a narcissist. The more a narcissist tries to control a Sigma, the more they realize that the Sigma's freedom and self-sufficiency are non-negotiable. This drives the narcissist to greater lengths, sometimes escalating their tactics in a desperate attempt to break the Sigma's will. But in the end, the Sigma's refusal to be controlled remains the one thing that keeps them just out of reach, untouchable and impossible to manipulate. And that, in itself, becomes an enduring source of frustration for the narcissist. Number 2. Narcissists crave validation from strong individuals. Narcissists are experts at seeking out strong individuals because, deep down, they know they are built on a fragile foundation. Sigma males, with their unshakable independence and quiet confidence, represent everything a narcissist wishes they could be. The way a Sigma carries himself, unbothered by trends, unshaken by opinions, and unapologetically authentic, is both fascinating and threatening to a narcissist. They envy the way Sigma males draw respect without demanding it, their ability to lead without forcing control, and their calm self-assurance that doesn't rely on external validation. To a narcissist, gaining the approval of someone as self-reliant as a Sigma male feels like conquering a mountain. It's not admiration or respect they're after. It's the validation that they too can hold power over someone who is seemingly untouchable. For a narcissist, this is about feeding their ego, proving to themselves and others that they are worthy of attention and capable of influencing even the most self-contained individuals. What they fail to realize, however, is that Sigma males don't play the same games. A Sigma's validation isn't given freely, nor is it dependent on flattery or manipulation. The narcissist may put on their best performance, But the Sigma's natural tendency to see through facades makes this effort futile, and yet the narcissist can't let go. The idea of breaking through the Sigma's emotional armor becomes an obsession, because it symbolizes their own distorted sense of worth. This dynamic is what often pulls narcissists into the orbit of Sigma males, a constant push and pull between envy, admiration, and an insatiable hunger for control. While the narcissist sees the Sigma as a prize, the Sigma sees them as noise, staying calm and grounded in their unshakable sense of self. At number 3, their non-reaction feeds narcissistic obsession. Narcissists thrive on reactions. They live for the emotional chaos they can stir in others, feeding off the highs and lows like fuel for their fragile egos. But when they meet a Sigma male, their usual tactics hit a wall. The Sigma's calm, composed demeanor doesn't just frustrate them, it completely derails their sense of control. For a narcissist, provoking someone into anger, fear, or even admiration is proof of their power. It reassures them that they're in the driver's seat. But a Sigma's non-reaction feels like rejection, and to a narcissist, rejection is unbearable. Whether it's through insults, manipulation, or over-the-top displays, they'll try everything to get a rise out of the Sigma. Yet, the Sigma remains unbothered, like a rock against crashing waves. This lack of response does more than frustrate the narcissist. It turns into an obsession. They start questioning why their tactics aren't working, why their usual emotional hooks are falling flat. To them, the Sigma becomes a puzzle they can't solve, and that inability to break through eats away at them. Instead of walking away, they double down, trying harder and harder to provoke any kind of emotional reaction, no matter how small. But the Sigma's power lies in their ability to remain grounded, refusing to give the narcissist what they crave. Their silence speaks volumes, highlighting the narcissist's desperation and lack of control. The more the Sigma stays composed, the more unhinged the narcissist becomes, trapped in a cycle of their own creation. This dynamic is what makes Sigmas so powerful and so maddening for narcissists. By simply refusing to react, the Sigma exposes the narcissist's weakness, leaving them floundering in the emotional turbulence they hope to create in someone else. Number 4, they project a sense of security. Narcissists are plagued by deep, unshakable insecurity. Beneath their polished exterior and grandiose facade lies a fragile self-worth that constantly craves reassurance. This is why they're drawn to Sigma males, individuals who radiate an effortless sense of security and self-sufficiency. The Sigma's grounded presence is like a lighthouse to a ship lost at sea, offering a stability that narcissists desperately want but can't create within themselves. Sigma males don't need validation from others to feel whole. They've built their confidence on self-awareness, discipline, and a strong sense of identity. This independence stands in stark contrast to the narcissist, who relies on external praise and manipulation to patch up their emotional cracks. To the narcissist, the Sigma's calm strength represents everything they're not, and they can't resist trying to claim it for themselves. But here's the catch. The narcissist isn't looking to learn from or emulate the Sigma's security. Instead, they latch on, hoping to absorb it by association. They see the Sigma as a resource to mine, someone who can fill the void they're constantly trying to hide. Whether it's through excessive admiration or subtle manipulation, the narcissist will do whatever it takes to feed off the Sigma's energy. What they don't realize is that the Sigma's security isn't something they can take. It's something the Sigma earned through inner work and self-reliance. While the narcissist clings, the Sigma remains detached, aware of the imbalance but too grounded to be drained. This dynamic leaves the narcissist chasing a stability they'll never truly grasp, while the Sigma moves forward, unshaken and untethered. The more secure the Sigma remains, the more the narcissist's insecurities are exposed, a harsh mirror reflecting everything they lack but desperately desire. Number 5. Their success isn't flashy, and that infuriates narcissists. Sigma males have a way of succeeding that is both understated and unshakable. They don't announce their wins to the world or crave applause for every milestone. Instead, they quietly work towards their goals, letting the results speak for themselves. This quiet success is both intriguing and maddening to narcissists, whose entire sense of self depends on external validation. For a narcissist, success is only meaningful if it's seen, acknowledged, and celebrated by others. They chase recognition, crafting elaborate facades to maintain their image of superiority. But when they encounter a Sigma male, someone who achieves without seeking approval, it throws them off balance. The Sigma's indifference to praise exposes the narcissist's deepest insecurity, their need to be seen. This dynamic creates a strange push-pull effect. The narcissist is drawn to the Sigma's quiet confidence, admiring their ability to thrive without applause. At the same time, it infuriates them. How can someone succeed without craving the spotlight? How can someone remain so composed without an audience validating their worth? These questions eat away at the narcissist, fueling a toxic mix of envy and fascination. What's worse for the narcissist is that the Sigma's success often highlights their own shallow pursuits. The Sigma doesn't compete for attention or scramble for recognition, yet their accomplishments carry a weight that the narcissist's theatrics never will. This contrast is a painful reminder of the narcissist's dependence on external validation and their inability to create true self-sustained success. For the Sigma male, this dynamic is irrelevant. They're too focused on their journey to be concerned with who notices or who doesn't. Meanwhile, the narcissist is left in turmoil, torn between admiration and frustration, unable to understand how someone can thrive so effortlessly in the silence they fear most. Number 6. Narcissists misinterpret their boundaries as a challenge. Sigma. Males are unapologetically firm when it comes to their boundaries. They don't draw lines to play games or push people away. They do it out of self-respect and a deep understanding of what they are willing to tolerate. This clarity, however, is often misinterpreted by narcissists as an open invitation to test the waters. To a narcissist, boundaries aren't a sign of strength. They're a challenge to overcome, a puzzle they feel entitled to solve. For a narcissist, someone with firm boundaries is both intriguing and frustrating. They're used to bulldozing their way into people's lives, manipulating emotions and breaking down defenses. But when they encounter a Sigma, they're met with calm resistance. A Sigma doesn't over-explain their limits or apologize for enforcing them. They simply hold their ground. This throws the narcissist into a spiral of obsession. Narcissists convince themselves that the Sigma's boundaries are a form of emotional unavailability they can fix. They see the Sigma as a project, believing that if they can break through, it'll validate their superiority. What they fail to understand is that the Sigma isn't emotionally unavailable. They're just selective. They don't invest their time and energy into anyone who doesn't respect their space, no matter how persistent the other person may be. The harder the narcissist pushes, the more they expose their own insecurities. While they interpret the Sigma's boundaries as a sign of weakness or fear, the reality is the complete opposite. Those boundaries reflect a deep sense of self-worth that the narcissist can't comprehend. And as the Sigma remains steadfast, the narcissist grows increasingly desperate, mistaking their inability to conquer as proof that they must try harder. In reality, all they're doing is digging themselves deeper into a battle they'll never win. Number 7. They have an aura of quiet dominance. Sigma. Males carry a presence that commands respect without ever raising their voice or seeking attention. It's an aura of quiet dominance, subtle but undeniable. They don't need to boast or assert their authority because it radiates naturally through their confidence, independence, and self-control. For narcissists, who are obsessed with power and control, this is like a magnet. The Sigma embodies the dominance they crave but can't achieve, which creates a mix of admiration and envy in the narcissist. Narcissists thrive on overt displays of power. They need to be seen as superior and will go to great lengths to flaunt their supposed dominance. But the Sigma's understated confidence flips this dynamic on its head. The Sigma doesn't rely on flashy displays or performative gestures to establish their presence. They simply are, and that quiet assurance highlights the narcissist's insecurities. This dynamic creates a complex attraction. Narcissists are drawn to the Sigma's strength, hoping to align themselves with it or even absorb it. Yet, at the same time, they resent the Sigma for being everything they're not, genuinely self-assured, effortlessly respected, and completely uninterested in playing power games. To a narcissist, dominance is about control over others. To a Sigma, it's about control over oneself. This distinction is something the narcissist can't fully grasp, and it gnaws at them. They latch onto the Sigma, hoping to either emulate or undermine that quiet authority, but the Sigma remains untouchable. Their dominance isn't performative, it's authentic. Ultimately, the narcissist's fixation only deepens their own insecurities. While they try to tear the Sigma down or compete for dominance, the Sigma remains calm, unbothered, and in control, further reinforcing the qualities that drew the narcissist to them in the first place. And number 8. They seem immune to narcissistic games. Sigma males possess an uncanny ability to see through manipulative behavior. Whether it's subtle guilt-tripping, emotional baiting, or flattery meant to control, they recognize these tactics for what they are almost instantly. Unlike most people, they don't get tangled in the narcissist's web of mind games. Instead, they meet these attempts with calm indifference, refusing to react or give the narcissist the emotional feedback they crave. For the narcissist, this is both frustrating and baffling. Their entire strategy revolves around controlling others through manipulation, and when those tactics fail, it feels like their power is slipping away. But instead of retreating, the narcissist takes it as a challenge. They convince themselves that the Sigma is just a tough nut to crack and double down on their efforts, hoping to force a reaction. What they fail to understand is that the Sigma's immunity isn't an act of defiance, it's a reflection of their emotional intelligence and self-control. Sigma males don't need external validation or approval, which makes them immune to the narcissist's bait. Their calm, steady nature doesn't allow for easy exploitation, and their independence leaves little room for manipulation. This dynamic creates a vicious cycle for the narcissist. The harder they push, the more their own desperation becomes apparent. They try every trick in the book, playing the victim, creating drama, even attempting to provoke anger, but the Sigma remains unfazed. To the narcissist, this feels like losing control, something they can't accept. Meanwhile, the Sigma's refusal to engage sends a clear message. They won't be pulled into games or made a pawn in someone else's agenda. This infuriates the narcissist, feeding their obsession even further, but ultimately, the Sigma remains untouchable, immune to manipulation and uninterested in power struggles. Number 9. Their self-reflection intimidates narcissists. Sigma males are relentlessly introspective. They spend time reflecting on their thoughts, behaviors, and actions, constantly seeking ways to improve themselves and grow. This level of self-awareness is a defining trait of the Sigma, and it's one that sets them apart from others. They aren't afraid to look inward, confront their flaws, and adjust their course when necessary. This is a form of power that narcissists can neither comprehend nor replicate, making it deeply intimidating to them. For a narcissist, self-reflection is an uncomfortable exercise that they avoid at all costs. Acknowledging their own flaws or facing their insecurities is anathema to their inflated sense of self. They thrive on denial, constantly feeding themselves a narrative of perfection and superiority to mask their deep fears of inadequacy. To confront their own shortcomings would shatter the fragile image they've built. When they encounter a Sigma who is open about their imperfections and works tirelessly to improve, it challenges everything the narcissist believes about themselves. The Sigma's ability to critically assess their own behavior is a direct reflection of their strength, something the narcissist can't fathom because they're too consumed with their need for external validation and control. This process of self-improvement is both alluring and unsettling to the narcissist. On one hand, they may admire the Sigma's ability to evolve and grow. On the other hand, it exposes a vulnerability they cannot afford to acknowledge in themselves. The narcissist wants the confidence and self-assurance the Sigma possesses, but they don't have the courage to face their own flaws and work through them. In the end, the Sigma's self-reflection reveals a deep emotional intelligence and resilience that narcissists cannot touch. This dynamic fuels their obsession as they're drawn to something they could never truly achieve: the ability to look inward, evolve, and become stronger in the process. Now at number 10. They refuse to be a narcissist's supply. Sigma males are fundamentally uninterested in feeding into the endless hunger for attention and validation that narcissists crave. They don't indulge the narcissist's need for constant admiration or emotional sustenance. A Sigma male's indifference to being the center of attention creates a sharp contrast to the narcissist's insatiable need to be seen, praised, and adored. The Sigma is perfectly content to remain in the background, focusing on their own goals and growth, while the narcissist desperately seeks any validation they can get, especially from those they perceive as strong or unattainable. This refusal to serve as a narcissist's emotional supply is a direct challenge to the narcissist's fragile ego. They thrive on the constant cycle of attention, admiration, and control. And when someone like a Sigma male doesn't play along, it disrupts their sense of self-worth. Narcissists interpret this rejection as a personal affront and begin to double down on their efforts to extract what they want from the Sigma. They may try to manipulate, charm, or guilt-trip the Sigma into providing them with validation, but it only pushes the Sigma further away. The Sigma's unwavering stance of self-sufficiency and independence makes them immune to these tactics. They won't fall for the narcissist's emotional games or get caught up in their toxic need for admiration. This creates a toxic dynamic where the narcissist becomes more desperate, trying harder and harder to manipulate the Sigma, but ultimately failing. The Sigma's refusal to provide emotional supply leads the narcissist down a frustrating, fruitless path, and in their desperation, they may lash out or engage in passive-aggressive behavior. In the end, the Sigma male's ability to remain untouchable by the narcissist's demands for attention and validation only exacerbates the narcissist's feelings of inadequacy and powerlessness. They can't understand why someone would choose to remain detached and self-sufficient, and this drives them into an obsessive spiral, desperate for what they cannot have. In conclusion, to be a Sigma male is to walk a path few dare to tread. You are independent, self-assured, and emotionally grounded, qualities that naturally attract both admiration and unwanted attention. Narcissists are drawn to your strength, your calmness, and your refusal to conform to their games. They see you as a challenge, an enigma they desperately want to control but can never quite grasp. While this dynamic can be exhausting, it's also a testament to your rare and powerful nature. Your ability to see through manipulation, set firm boundaries, and stay grounded in who you are makes you unshakable. Where others might falter under pressure, you remain steady. This isn't just a defense against narcissistic tactics. It's a way of life that reflects your inner mastery. You don't need external validation to feel whole, and that alone sets you apart in a world that often values appearances over substance. Remember, the attention of narcissists is not a burden. It's proof of the impact you have simply by being yourself. Their attraction to you stems from their own lack of what you naturally possess: authenticity, purpose, and emotional strength. Let this serve as a reminder of your value. Stay true to your path, continue building your inner strength, and never allow anyone to dim your light. The world needs more individuals like you who refuse to be controlled or manipulated, who live life on their own terms. Embrace your Sigma nature. It's your power, your shield, and your legacy. And if you want to dive deeper into why your presence is so impactful, make sure to watch the full video. Your journey as a Sigma male is just beginning. Keep walking your unique path with wisdom and purpose.